Hi, fellow traders. Well, we put a stamp on another week, got it in the books. We're going to recap it here in a few. It's been a crazy week, an odd week. You know, this is not something that we see that happens. But we'll talk about that here in a minute. The one thing I want to leave you with for this weekend, what I want you to think about is this statement. You know, the distance between your reality and your dreams is called action. You know, and some of you guys have already put plans in motion to making your dream become a reality. But if you want to close that distance, if your dream seems so far away from reality, all it takes is for you to start acting toward making it become a reality. You don't have to take these huge steps to start with. Small steps, great distances. You guys remember that. I say that all the time. So it's just a matter of getting started. And it doesn't take much. Sometimes it just takes that nudge to get you going in the right direction. You know, don't be apprehensive. You know, it does not take as much as you think to get started and toward whatever your dream is. That doesn't really matter. Just once you start acting on it, you're going to start closing that distance up, and that reality is going to come closer and closer and closer. So you guys think about that this weekend. So what I'm going to be saying and what you're going to hear me saying the rest of this month, 2019 will be mine. This is what you guys need to say every morning, every night. 2019 will be mine. 2018 may not have been what you wanted it to be, but we have time to finish strong. We have time to do everything we need to do in order to make sure we're ready for 2019. So just say it. 2019 will be mine. It's going to be the year that changes everything for you. It's going to be the year that changes everything for me. So we're looking forward to what 2019 brings. But we have to put ourselves in the right position. We got to do our part. And that's what we're going to be working on. So several of you have emailed me about when I'm going to do the next 2 for Tuesday deal. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing it anytime soon, because that costs me money. And I have spent all of my extra cash this year. So what I'm going to do is I'm offering the 2019 will be mine special for you guys that are sitting there waiting, trying to figure out if this is what you want to do. For the cost of 1 month, $99, you're going to get 2 months. And what you do is just come join me live every day, because I'm teaching the skills and the strategies to be consistently profitable, but more importantly, to grow your account. A lot of you guys have to grow your account. I don't care if you start, let's say you have enough money to meet the PDT rule. You got 40 grand in your account. You still need to learn how to trade. Just because you have money doesn't mean you're going to make money. So you still need to learn the skills and the strategies, and you still need to grow your account. Because that's how if you grow your account, you're making money. That's what you want to do. So for $99, you get 2 months access to the AJT education community, which includes the live trading room that you're there. I'm in there trading live every day. Go back and check out the video I did yesterday and the one we did last Wednesday. That's exactly what you see in our chat room every day. You have access to all of the live education webinars that I do after market, access to the live weekly market analysis and swing trade watch session that happens on Sunday mornings. And if you miss it or can't be there, the video for it is posted later that evening with the member education videos, and you have access to all of that. Plus, to get yourself ready for 2019, to help you plan and do the things that you need to do, have in place in order to hit the ground running in 2019, you will get one 60-minute mentoring session with me, or 2 30-minute sessions, whatever works for you. But you get all of that, $99, you'll be ready to go for 2019. So again, just keep saying to yourself, 2019 will be mine. This is the year that's going to change everything for us. All right, so let's look real quick. I'm showing you this trade from yesterday so you can see what the P&L was. I didn't do a recap on it because it's on the video. It's the live trade we took. Took forever to move, and when it did, it didn't really move like we wanted it to. But it happens. We took profit on it. We got almost $100. Not bad. I mean, I'd rather have that than be red any day. And once you see what happened to me today, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But that's what happened yesterday, 91.82. That's what we locked up in the small account. So what we were looking at yesterday, if you can go back and watch that video from yesterday, I talked about this. I said exactly what I thought was going to happen, and that's exactly what happened. This was the ascending support right here. I felt we would dip through it and pull back over it, hold it, and start making a run back up. This is the move I wanted to catch, but I missed it. You know, I wasn't going to chase it. Even though chasing would have paid, I wasn't going to chase it. I missed the move. I sat on my hands, and I just accepted the $93 or not, whatever it was I made. I just accepted that trade as it and moved on. We didn't give him another chance, so I didn't take a trade. The key is not forcing trades. You know, just because the market is open and things are moving doesn't mean you have to trade. Yeah, there are people in chat that trade all day and, you know, going in this trade and that trade and out of this trade. You know, no, I don't advocate that. That's not what I teach. But you see people do it. That doesn't mean you need to follow them. You need to have your strategy, and you need to work on taking one trade at a time, one day at a time. Focus on maximizing the potential of that trade, and then you can start branching out. But that's kind of what it's all about. So, but you'll see, and I try to set the example every day. If it's not there, I'm not taking it. But today, awesome day here. We opened, made a little run up, and then started to sell off. And once we established that pattern, I was all over it. Now, I missed a couple of trades on this too, but I was patient, waited for the setup again, and was able to take some trades. So you'll see what happened with it. But next week, no telling what's going to happen. Got to wait and listen for the news over the weekend. Monday morning, I might have a little bit better idea of what may be on tap. But right now, it's sitting on support, and just going to have to wait and see what happens over the weekend, what news week is going to hit Sunday night, you know, how the overseas markets are going to trade, then kind of go from there. But we'll talk more about that on Sunday morning. So today, I'm showing the good trade first. You know, we'll get to the bad trade here in a minute. But here's the TVIX. Obviously, I missed the early trades here because I was getting destroyed here in LULU and trying to get things back on track. So I waited and, you know, got in here. Wasn't too good of an entry, but I did pick up a couple bucks here. Waited for the pullback and the bounce. Got in. Had to hold through this pullback. But as long as we didn't make a new low here, we were good. And so it came back. Was able to take profit through here. I kind of felt the winds changing. So I went ahead and took the profit here. It did pull back. It would have taken me out at break even anyway. I didn't catch this bounce, but I did catch this pullback. Caught another little piece of it here, and that was that. So was able to make back a couple bucks on TVIX. Almost $500, but it was halfway decent trading. Again, I missed the big run up in this account because I was working with where is it? This one. I got the wrong one. All right, so this is LULU. Now let me tell you what happened. And this was one of the good lessons. We had a wealth of good lessons today. The first ones, and this is one of the main things I try to talk to traders about. If your schedule gets messed up and you're rushing and you're trying to do something and get stuff done so you can run in and trade, it's probably not a good idea to do that unless you have a plan ahead of time for if you're running 30 minutes late or 15 minutes late, whatever the case is. Today I was running late, but it wasn't so late that I couldn't prepare for the market, but I was rushing myself and I didn't have a plan. I was just trying to rush through what I was doing. And normally I verify my Thinkorswim chart and my DOS charts are lined up, because lately every now and then the Thinkorswim charts have been slow, been lagging. They freeze up for a minute. And it just so happens today I didn't check it. I was rushing. I didn't get through my process. And part of my checklist is to verify the charts. I missed it. The chart was off. So I got in this trade on the break of the 5-minute opening range. The close of the 5-minute opening range. Obviously, we had this huge wick. Whenever we have a huge wick, I defer to the body, and that's what I did. And I wasn't so concerned about the pre-market high because we just pretty much took it out. So I was assuming, what happens when you assume. I made a complete ass of myself today, but I was assuming we were going to push through. We didn't. And this whole time, this thing was selling off. I was watching my Thinkorswim chart that still had the trade here. And by the time all of a sudden the chart jumped and we were down here. So, of course, I had to panic out of this because, I was down big. I got in at 133.99, 134. It was 128. Okay, that's huge. So yeah, I had to jump out of it, and I was numb. I was just numb, and I'm like, okay, maybe this is gonna be a good short. This is showing good volatility, and I turned around and got short here. And ended up doing relatively good, but what happened? I accidentally left my stop on. I got out here because we were bouncing. Now let me explain the reason why I didn't let this come back and I didn't use break even for my stop was because I knew I was down big. And so in my mind, I'm locking in all the profit I can. I'm not letting it go back and test and risk that. I'm locking in what I got. And so that's what happened. I accidentally left the stop on. It went up and hit my stop. And as soon as it triggered it, it sold back off. It opened and it pushed up a little bit, but it sold off. And so I had to stop out here, and then I ended up getting back short off of this, and caught another good trade. Got back short again, caught a real nice trade, but here's where I lost it. I went through all of this, I took a break, had to take a walk, had to calm down, went through all of this, and I had my target here at 119, or what was it? 120. Had my target here at 120. And it took me out, and the damn thing dropped all the way to 118.50. That's when I lost it. Because I gave up almost, over a point. I might not have got the whole point and a half, but I would have got over a point. And I lost it. This is when I just let my steam out. All of the frustration from this came out here. Because, this would have really, made my day. Probably would have been ready to get back in to see if we can continue to fade this the rest of the day. This is the stock that I look for every day. The stock that I could get in the morning, take advantage of the volatility, and then work it the rest of the day. Where I don't have to look for another stock. I don't have to vet another stock. I can make all of my day's money off of this stock. You should see how much money I lost on this thing. I was down over $1,000. I can't remember what it was. I showed everybody in chat, at the end of the day. What was it? $1,100, $1,200. I can't even remember. But it was huge. But I turned around and made it back here. So this was pretty much scrap. You can see 41.76 to the green after all of that. On this trade. I guess with commissions it probably was red on this trade. But the point is, had I not had this could have been a $1,500 day for me in the small account. Can you imagine how ecstatic I would have been to make, $1,500 out of a $6,000 account? The potential was here today. The home run potential was here. But one trade, and I can't blame it on Thinkorswim or anything. The problem was I did not do what I was supposed to do. I slipped up. I didn't do my job, and it cost. It cost me. It could have cost me this whole week. But thankfully, this trade was a numb trade. But then after that, I kind of got my wits about me until we hit this, and then that was that. I was done. Forget about it. So that was Lulu. We were able to come back on that, and you could see after this last TVIX trade, I ended up 419.08. This 322. This was before I took that last TVIX trade, and so we ended up 419.08, which is not bad. Not bad at all. So the next one we're gonna look at. This was the trades I took in my main day trading account. TVIX, I was taking it with a little more size. I usually go 600 shares on this. I double what I trade in my small account, but I only took 5 this time. And you can see I missed this initial move up. I waited for the pullback on the SPY, the bounce. And once it rejected the 200 on the SPY, I got in. We did have another little pullback and test, and it never lost the 200 on the SPY. So I stayed in this, ended up, catching some good meat here. Stopped out back here at break even just about. Caught it again, got a little bit more meat, and then that was that. Because I'd had that meltdown. Before I could get back in this, around, what time was that? a little after 12. Once I got out of this, I just had that meltdown. It was complete meltdown. So I didn't even get back in any of these trades. This and Apple, this is the one position I held from yesterday. Really messed this up. This was my target. This 169 was my target. I took a piece off here around 170.50 and was looking for this. It claimed the 9. I thought we were bouncing. Again, I assumed that we were going to bounce. Made a complete ass out of myself. Did not catch the rest of this move. Could have got in, but after this, my focus was on the small account and, trying to make sure I did what I needed to do in it. So, but all was a good day. 1415.41, not bad at all for pretty much a half a day's worth of work. Apple, this is the one that I got in yesterday. I held 500 shares overnight. I knew that the market makers were playing with us yesterday. And that's what happened. They were playing with us. We sold off today. Got some of it, but not all of what I wanted. But I'm okay with that. So, where are we for this week? Really, really sad. Had one red day in a small account. Pretty decent red day on Tuesday. And today helped make it up. This could have been a really serious dent in today. If I wasn't able, if the stock did not give us the opportunity to trade it, I wouldn't have made it back. The only way I was able to make it is the stock gave us the opportunity and I was able to trade it. So, being that having something in place to help you quickly get back on track is imperative. And you guys saw that today. You got to see it live and in color. But 238.11 still made more than we made last week. Last week we didn't even hit 200. But the holiday kind of gave us a little hiccup, but still came out of it pretty good. The 2 swings we took off, inadvertent swings, so to speak, helped us on Tuesday. We had a nice day on Monday. Didn't take a trade yesterday. Well, I got in Apple, and I was working that Apple, and you saw the end result of that today. And 1415.41. So 40.55.11 is what we got in our main account. On the trades, mainly trading at volatility, and then 42.93.22 for the week. So small account this month so far only 238.11. But so our small account balance now is 62.67.73. So that allows us to take a little bit more size, up to 300 shares of some of these higher price stocks and 100 shares of some of the higher price stocks. So it's helping us. You're going to see how much more freer we are and how easier it is. It's still hard, but it's a little bit easier when you have some breathing room. Because you remember when we were back at $1,000, we had our hands tied. They were cuffed. But we made it through. You saw just what it took to make it through. It's possible. You just have to be disciplined. So that's going to do it for us today, for this week. We'll be back at this thing again Monday morning. I will see you guys on Sunday. Some of you guys that are going to be there Sunday morning for our watch list session, a strategy session on Sunday morning. I'll see you guys then. If not, the rest of you guys, I will see you Monday morning. So you guys have a great weekend and see you soon.